Momaya, and I'm a former curator at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. The Smithsonian is a national museum, not a city museum, charged with telling the story of the nation's history. I was hired by the Smithsonian back in 2012 to lead the Indian American Heritage Project, a project and exhibition designed to tell the story of Indian immigrants and their descendants dating back from the 1700s to the present. Indian immigrants and Indian Americans make up approximately 1% of the population in the United States and trace their heritage not only to India but to other parts of the Indian diaspora, including the Caribbean, Southern and East Africa, and the Arabian Gulf. The project culminated in a 5,000 square foot exhibition which showed at the Smithsonian between 2014 and 2015 and is currently traveling around the United States and India. When this process began in 2007, there were no items in the Smithsonian's collection of 154 million objects that could be traced or were tagged to Indian history in the United States. So thus began a process of nationwide consultation with communities around the country. We talked with scholars, with activists, academics, advocates, community organizations, individuals, and families, asking them to share their stories, documents, artifacts, and photographs. We asked them, what do you think is most important to be included in the telling of Indian American history? What are the most important narratives that we could showcase? Some of the challenges we faced, including having limited staff and funding to be able to comprehensively reach the whole community, determining what was of national significance. As you can imagine, people had widely varying opinions around this, representing the diversity within the community, and balancing an ongoing tension around highlighting achievements and highlighting struggles. Indian immigrants and Indian Americans were active participants in co-creating the exhibition, both through extensive consultation during the exhibition-making process and also afterwards in voicing feedback. The exhibitions have been shown at the Smithsonian and around the country and in India, with current public programs focusing on issues of identity, racism, xenophobia, and also sexism, homophobia, and economic injustice. Now that the exhibition is traveling around the country, this programming is being coordinated by host institutions, many of which are city museums, who have both contextually specific knowledge and the creativity of their own staff, but also face resource constraints and varying levels of fluency with how to facilitate difficult dialogue and debate. The United States is also experiencing an interesting and difficult political moment with the election of Donald Trump, and all museums and cultural institutions are figuring out how to continue dialogue around difficult topics, including racism and xenophobia. There is widespread commitment in the cultural sector, though, to continue this work, but everybody is in a wait-and-see mode in terms of policy changes, backlash, and fluctuations in funding. We conducted 2 evaluations of the exhibition. One was with stakeholders who participated in the exhibition-making process, and the other was with visitors in the gallery. Both are available online at www.smithsonianapa.org. I've also authored a couple of book chapters about the experience of making the exhibition, and in particular about the importance and challenges of community engagement, viewing museum collections in light of legacies of racism and colonialism, and working with artists during exhibition making as a creative way of addressing migration. These book chapters will be published by Smithsonian Press and Indiana University Press in 2017. These learnings are also informing an upcoming permanent exhibition at the Smithsonian on immigration called Many Voices, One Nation. My hope is that cities will recognize and elevate museums as centers for dialogue and strategizing around issues of migration and immigration, and provide these museums the recognition and support they need to play this role.